Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a thumbs up, by leaving a comment, by leaving 2 comments if you're feeling saucy, or by subscribing if you have not already done so. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. This video, I'm pretty sure, is going to be called "There's no reason why Bitcoin should be below $100,000 right now." As always, this is not all the news that's out there. This is just the news in this video. Typically, when there is a lot of news, I tend to make a second video because there's so much to actually cover. There's so much happening always within the cryptocurrency space. So once again, without further ado, let's jump headfirst directly into it. Bitcoin fell $2,000 overnight on the 11th of March after US-based multinational Oracle dispelled rumors that it had purchased 72,000 Bitcoin. I didn't even hear about this. Apparently, this was something that was happening behind the scenes. Of course, it was happening. The entire point being, a lot of the news is resting on that Bitcoin only rose because a company called Oracle, about a month ago, there was some type of a rumor about them that they were in motion to purchase a large amount of Bitcoin. Not sure who started the rumor, not sure who did anything, but there's so much nonsense happening within the cryptocurrency market between people trying desperately to lower the price any way that they can to be able to accumulate more, people trying to pump other things, people trying to get people unfocused away from Bitcoin and into ETFs and into these other coins that they simply should not be into. Bitcoin is devouring other markets right now. Bitcoin is going to become something larger than even a lot of people within the cryptocurrency space can even begin to expect. We keep getting so much news about institutions who are actually buying huge swaths of Bitcoin every single day. They have not stopped. I'm not going to repeat what I always say every other video with the 900 and 2700, but you get it. Every single day this is actually happening. We know that this is happening because we get the numbers from the actual companies about a week and a half later after a dip has happened, and they go, guess what? We bought more. So the idea that Bitcoin's price would fall at all because of a rumor and not just off of the actual mathematics that we know that there's very little Bitcoin left is just a little shocking to the larger part of my brain. Data from Cointelegraph Markets and TradingView show the Bitcoin to the US dollar returning to $55,000 on Thursday after hitting $57,000. We were like 57,300, and a lot of the news articles were like, here's 58,000. The previous day had delivered strong performance across cryptocurrencies, while bulls eagerly awaited a retest of Bitcoin's 58,300. Yeah, there we go. While the momentum did much to overcome a final band of resistance in place just below that level, it did not last, as an alleged adoption announcement from Oracle failed to materialize. I don't understand why people would rush. Okay, here's my idea, and I'm going to try and say it in proper words as best I can. The idea is always that, hey, we're getting news that them may be buying Bitcoin at this date. Let's start buying Bitcoin that same exact date or the date before so that we can accumulate and get it as much as we possibly need. As opposed to, hey, let's buy Bitcoin because we know that it's being adopted all over the world and by all of these funds. Let's get it at a good price, as opposed to it's this like wave like, hey, rich person is buying, I have to also buy. Like, remember when Bitcoin's price pumped up because of Tesla? And I guess even more so because Elon Musk wrote the word Bitcoin on his Twitter bio and the price spiked. A lot of people don't understand that real adoption is happening. I also saw news which like completely broke my heart that there are tons of people, the newest buyers. You can tell this by the unspent transaction output, where we were talking about before. You can see that there are certain accounts that are continuously accumulating Bitcoin. You can see when the first entry was, it was from 2014. They're still buying. But a lot of people from the last like 4 or 5 months who just got into the space, the prices dipped, they keep selling, and these accounts aren't buying anymore, which is an indication that they're selling off because they're afraid, because they don't understand the market. And the people who are buying are the people who are already hodling and have been in the market for a very long time, or just other whales who are like, we need to keep buying as much as possible because this is clearly going to be something absolutely major. So I guess the point to be made is that Bitcoin's price fell a smidge. I think it's down by like 0.81% or something like that. When I was just looking at it, it dipped a little bit. Of course, we're already starting to move back up. I know everyone here understands, but I think I just say this just to keep screwing it in, keep bringing the point home. I don't know why I thought of like screwing something into wood and being like, okay, now it's there. I don't know. Because this is going to be massive, and this is why the video is titled this. Like, this isn't this. The title of the video is not this. It's just more to explain why there was a little dip in price. But this is being adopted all over the world. And on top of that, a lot of other altcoin pricey news, like where XRP could be heading. Cardano looks like it's going to be doing this. It says why Ethereum is poised for a fresh surge to $2,000. There's no reason why any of the cryptocurrency market at all right now should be stagnant, trading sideways, or not continuously pumping, just based off of absolute logic. Anyway, that's the price news, as it were. And without further ado, let's get into all the news about adoption. Next up, JP Morgan Chase has designed a new debt instrument that provides investors direct exposure to a basket of crypto-focused companies, according to a new filing with the US SEC. JP Morgan's cryptocurrency exposure basket, there we go, is described as an unequally weighted basket containing 11 reference stocks of US-listed companies that operate businesses directly and indirectly related to cryptocurrencies. The instrument allocates, geez Louise, 20% to MicroStrategy. The data analytics firm has 91,000 Bitcoin. It also provides direct exposure to Square, Riot, and two companies with exposure to Bitcoin. NVIDIA and PayPal holdings each account for 15% of the basket as well. So JP Morgan Chase, many years ago, many of you may not simply have been here or even were not here 2 years ago. JP Morgan Chase is one of the largest banks on the planet. And they made sure that everyone knew that Bitcoin was garbage. No one should be getting into it. They said it was a fad. No one should be touching it. It's going to disappear in a couple of years. No one's actually putting any money into it, etc., etc., etc. The really weird part is that about 2 years later, even from 2017 when they were really bad-mouthing it, is that they basically came forward and they were like, yeah, we think Bitcoin could do big things. We have an idea that Bitcoin could potentially hit $300,000. We've been looking at the numbers, and based on the stock to flow, it looks like Bitcoin could actually hit $600,000. A lot of these mega corporations are still doing the exact same thing, where they're trying to make sure, or tried to make sure, even maybe right now, that the unnecessary people don't get into crypto, don't get into Bitcoin. The other really weird part is, and I'm seeing this trend pick up quite rapidly. We got news before that allegedly a lot of people didn't feel comfortable with getting into Bitcoin. So the other way to do this was to give them, in no uncertain terms, basically a piece of paper or a digital certificate that says, hey, you own this much cryptocurrencies, or you have an allocation into this so-and-so and so, as opposed to just allowing them to buy Bitcoin directly from them. Because that's not how you make money as a company. You can't just simply say, here it is, or even more so, you can go over there and get it. You have to say, well, we have a basket of this. You can buy debt in this. And I think we are going to see a lot of this. Is my personal opinion. We're going to see a lot of investors be quite angry in the future, because a lot of these people who are buying into crypto exposure baskets, as it were, probably don't understand exactly how Bitcoin is or how big Bitcoin is going to be in the future. So they buy a representation. It's kind of like the idea of people buying like gold certificates. Like if you have the choice between physical gold or a gold certificate, the certificate is, it's kind of nice. You can have a whole stack of them and say, I own this much gold. But if you actually go to the bank and say, hey, can I redeem all these? They'll usually probably tell you no. This is why when we have bank runs, banks lock the door because they don't have that much money actually inside of the bank. So the 2 points to be made are a lot of these companies and banks are now making other derivative type things where you can gain exposure to cryptocurrency, but you don't actually hold the cryptocurrency yourself. So in 10 years, a lot of these companies are going to be, waving these pieces of paper going, I own something, when they actually don't, because you should have just been holding the physical Bitcoin yourself. The other point is JP Morgan seems oddly keen to be jumping into the cryptocurrency space so rapidly after calling it absolutely terrible. But once again, they've all been buying in since around 2014 to 2017. We know this because these are the numbers that they actually gave us before. So this was also fairly popular news that JP Morgan was definitely going to be jumping in headfirst. Here's the actual filing with the SEC. Inside notes linked to JP Morgan basket of companies with exposure to cryptocurrency. Yeah. So they're all in it. They're not going to be getting into it. They are already there. All the major companies behind the scenes have exposure to Bitcoin in some sort of way. And I still find it quite annoying that so many people tell me the news, not all of you, but I know people, and not you friends, hello out there, who are into crypto. Like, like people who I like physically know, who I like grew up with. It's more like I get stuff from other people who don't care anything about crypto. They found something on another website that says something about this and they go, what do you think, bro? Should I buy Bitcoin now? And I'm like, you still don't have Bitcoin after all of this stuff that's been going on that I've been sending you. Anyway, yeah, I don't really know what more to say. Of course, this is very popular news. JP Morgan to offer crypto exposure basket, but criticizes not crypto. Yes, exactly like I was saying. There's a reason why they're not offering direct crypto. It's because they're probably using any issuance of money that they're getting from an exposure of a basket of stuff that they're selling to someone else. They're using that money to actually buy Bitcoin for themselves. A lot of investors are going to be very angry in the future when they realize they do not physically own Bitcoin. They own a representation of Bitcoin or a representation of a company that's holding Bitcoin. The US dollar is falling apart. Very popular news. And let's move on. Next up, institutional cryptocurrency fund Grayscale is making 9 hires for roles focused on an exchange-traded fund. Their jobs listing page has revealed. It says Grayscale Investments is seeking a specialist to support the creation and redemption process of Grayscale's exchange-traded fund products, as well as a business expansion plan. Here's the tweet for it right there. Grayscale's trust products, modeled after ETFs, are widely popular and manage over $42 billion across large cap cryptos, mainly Bitcoin and Ether. These products hold a small amount of spot crypto, the actual crypto, per share sold to investors and can be either subscribed to or purchased on the open market. The news basically being that Grayscale is trying to start an ETF. Of course they are. I assume everyone's trying to start an ETF because the news right now is constantly that they've been approved in North America, in Canada, and now the Americans also want one as well. One of them is going to go through. Doesn't matter what the paperwork actually says. There was also more like SEC news over the last couple of hours, and it's this really weird, like, I'm interested to see what the next 10 to 15 years are going to be like, not only for regulators, but just for the cryptocurrency space. I still feel like, and I think I always will, because this is just, it's just how things are. Regulators feel like that they need to do something, or things have to take a certain amount of time to be able to validate the actual creation of said item that they're putting out into the market. But was it Hester Pierce? Oh gosh, it was someone from the SEC. They basically noted like a day ago, they were like, Yeah, I think we've fallen behind. We need to, move a bit quicker, and they're not going to. And the rest of the world simply does not care. So the point is, Grayscale is buying more Bitcoin every single day. Now they're trying to start an ETF, and of course they're going to get that ETF, and it's only going to cause prices to rise a lot higher because they keep buying, regardless if any new companies are getting into the space. A lot of people follow this hype wave, and it's like, my gosh, did you hear that company got into it? As opposed to realizing the other 128 companies who we heard from before who are constantly buying all the time. And without further ado, that's the Grayscale news. Wonderful, right? And let's move on. Next up, in Bitcoin should not be under $100,000. Soros Fund Management, New York Life, and Morgan Stanley have joined Stone Ridge Holdings, Mass Mutual, FS Investments, and Bessemer Venture Partners to invest in Bitcoin-focused investment company New York DIG. They will collaborate on a range of Bitcoin-related strategic initiatives and expect to launch an explosion of innovation in Bitcoin products and services. Soros Management Fund, New York Life, Morgan Stanley, Stone Ridge Holdings, Mass Mutual, FS Investment, Bessemer Venture, and New York DIG expect to launch an explosion of innovation in Bitcoin products and services. Almost makes you think maybe they're into Bitcoin. We'll just never know. Major companies and investment heavyweights have invested in the New York Digital Investment Group, a provider of technology and investment solutions for Bitcoin. The group announced on Monday, according to the announcement. It says a $200 million growth capital round was led by strategic partners Stone Ridge, Morgan Stanley, New York Life, Mass Mutual, Soros Fund, and FS Investments. In addition, Bessemer Venture Partners and FinTech Collective, which led the two prior funds, were also significant participants. Everyone is already into crypto. If you were not here last year, and if you were here last year, you might remember me saying something. I said normal people will not hear or will not be told to get into Bitcoin until all the major players own all of the Bitcoin. How weird that what I said last year is coming true. They're all into Bitcoin. And the ones who haven't told us, yes, them too, they are also into Bitcoin. We've even had rumors of other mega companies who just simply haven't come out to say it because it's possible to create companies within companies within companies with subsidiaries and stuff like that to also acquire it as well. When they own all the Bitcoin, when they have purchased all the Bitcoin, when any new Bitcoin that is created simply flows into their hands, this is when you will start to hear and start to see advertisements and start to see signs on buses and trains and the sides of planes that your bank now offers cryptocurrency services. And you'll go, wow, adoption is crazy. I can't believe we got here, not realizing that they've been into it for 6 years. They made sure to buy all of it so that they can give you that little tiny sprinkle. It's the same exact thing when you go to your bank account and they say, hey, yeah, you have an interest rate. Give you 0.02%, man. That is a lot of money. Hold your money with us. They're going to do the exact same thing with Bitcoin. I don't know how to make this much clearer. I'm sure you notice a tone in my voice today. It's because, have you seen all the news that I've been talking about alone just in this video? And we're still not done. There's still, I promise you, there's still more. I don't understand the fascination with rich person did it, I have to do it. When I bring you the rich person news or the company just purchased into Bitcoin news, it's not because I'm like, praise them. Look how great they are. It's more of a pay attention to what they're doing. After the 15th company, I was like, okay, this is it. Like, this is definitely hyper adoption time. But so many people still don't understand that. People don't grasp the idea that Bitcoin was $3,000. We had news 6 months later that about 50 companies hyper purchased as much Bitcoin as they could when it was low. As Bitcoin's price continued, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I shouldn't actually have to even go on anymore. If you think of a company, they're probably into Bitcoin. They're thinking of ways to allocate their money into Bitcoin. We had, what was it, a popcorn factory, an oil company, and a lottery company within the last 4 days who are all changing, what was it? One of them changing their name to Bit Mining, and they're all going to be buying into and or purchasing Bitcoin and mining it. So the point is, Bitcoin, I think fairly soon, is probably going to hit around $100,000, be very close to it, whether it be 97,000 and we experience a drop because all the news stories will come out that we needed to consolidate and whatever other crap that they need to tell themselves. But when we hit this number, when we hit a $2 trillion Bitcoin market cap, I just always want everyone to really understand where this has been going for a very long time. We are constantly getting indications continuously, every single day. Most days, I think for the last 200, 300 videos that I've made, every single day there's been news about one or two different companies who's getting into the cryptocurrency space. This one's about 7, I think, in this actual video. And even just on this page, that's another, I counted that as one entire entity as they are working with New York Dig. But yeah, it's going to be a very fascinating future. People who do not get where this is going, I personally feel are going to be incredibly upset. I've mentioned before, we are going to enter. We're ready. We're here, ready on the cusp, especially after the events of this entire last 12 months. We are going to live in a world of the haves and have-nothings. And I don't mean like a little bit. They are going to have absolutely nothing to their name. There are already tons of people right now. There were surveys that I spoke about before. There are people, they were asking people within the U.S. alone, just within the U.S. And you know, the U.S. is supposed to be top tier. A whole bunch of people. If there was an emergency, could you scrounge up? Could you find $300 right now? And people looked at them and said, I know. I don't have any friends I can ask for. I don't even have that in my bank account. Now imagine $1,000. Now imagine $5,000 emergency that you also can't get. We are seeing a wealth transfer shift, unlike anything that we have ever seen before or that we will probably ever see again. As we continue to move further, we are already here. Look at the phone that you're holding, the tablet that you're holding, the TV that you're watching, the computer that you're on. Everything is digital. As we continue to move into a more digital world and everything becomes digitized, Bitcoin is likely to become the currency of the internet, if not many of them. But at this point, it is abundantly clear over the next 10 years, Bitcoin's price is probably going to hit $1 million. Just throwing that out there as an actual potential actuality. So, yeah. Whenever I see Bitcoins, now I understand people wanting to take profits because these people still don't understand exactly where all this is going. But whenever we get news that Bitcoin has fallen by 6, 7, 8%, I'm like, you don't really get it. Anyway, that's the $200 million Bitcoin investment. And let's move on. Altschula Shaman, or Shaman, depending on where you're from, which is a very interesting name. Altschula Shaman. Interesting. A large Israeli asset manager has employed the services of Grayscale to receive sizable exposure to Bitcoin in late 2020. The initiative of international companies pouring funds into Bitcoin has another representative in the face of the Israeli asset manager Altschula Shaman. The company has allocated $100 million into Bitcoin through Grayscale, and they did this in the second half of 2020. The news is that we found out that there was another asset manager who put $100 million into Bitcoin. And I think it even says it somewhere. Yeah, they bought in around the time when Bitcoin was $21,000. With Bitcoin sitting around $50,000, the sizable investment has already surged in value with an ROI of 160%. Yeah. Once again, a lot of the news that we continuously get has to do with just American companies who are thinking of jumping into the digital pool, as it were, to start buying. I don't know. I don't know what other people really need. I've seen a lot of you. First of all, thank you for the support on the channel. Like really, 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 really thank you. I do appreciate it. I've seen a lot of people writing in the comment section just anger amongst themselves as they're chatting because they keep seeing other cryptocurrency channels and even other major cryptocurrency channels basically promoting new coins, promoting this. I told you, we are back in 2017. We are back in this like really weird hype cycle where I mentioned it before. I get emails every day for this channel through my email, basically with companies asking me to promote a coin, to promote an ICO, to promote a so-and-so, to get a new NFT thing kind of going. And the money that they offer me every single, the money they offer me ranges anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000 per video. I've never promoted anything on this channel. I have an affiliate link for Ledger. That's about the only thing. But besides that, it's because in 2017, I knew that a lot of these things were scams. It was so blatantly obvious. But every other cryptocurrency channel was like, hey, you should buy into so-and-so because it's going to blah, blah, blah. And they kept on doing this over and over. And all those cryptocurrency channels were washed away in the great flood of 2018. And it's happening all over again. So I ask you just for due diligence to make sure if you hear someone telling you that something is going to give you an exponential profit or you should be dumping your money into so-and-so, the only thing that matters if you are in the cryptocurrency space, and this is just my personal opinion, if you are in the cryptocurrency space and are looking to invest into Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin or whatever coin tickles your fancy, buy that coin directly. Don't invest in a fund. Don't invest in crypto stocks. Buy the underlying asset yourself, especially if you are legally able to do so. Just throwing that out there because someone's comment yesterday, they were like, oh gosh, what was it? They were like, I stopped watching so-and-so channel, not going to mention the channel's name. He's been promoting coins every single day. And I'm like, of course he is. Because he found a way. What is that? 5,050. That's 150,000 per month that person is making off of telling you to buy scams. And it's working because he also gets the views on it as well. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there because there are going to be a lot of people who are going to be very, very upset in the future. Anyway, that's the Israeli business Grayscale news. And let's move on. Gold hit its lowest levels in more than 8 months on Tuesday, a day after holdings in the precious metal exchange traded fund fell by 14 tons, logging the biggest outflow seen in 2021. Analysts have blamed signs of an economic global recovery, which is probably not going to happen, and rising U.S. bond yields for the said decline, which is also a false indication because we know that it's inflation. This is because gold does not offer any stream or steam of interest payments, so it tends to perform poorly when bond yields rise. Nevertheless, a veteran fund manager also noted that Bitcoin also provided tailwinds to gold's bearish bias. In an interview with Bloomberg TV, Dr. Mark Mobius, sounds like a Spider-Man villain. It does. The founder of Mobius Capital Partners, that also sounds like an evil organization, LLP, a London-based asset management firm, stressed Bitcoin's competitive edge over the gold market, noting that there is definitely a correlation that pushed the cryptocurrency prices higher and the precious metals rates lower despite a pro-safe haven environment. He said, Bitcoin is like gold. It's a store of value. So I think that there is some relationship between the two. It is one of the reasons why gold is down. Otherwise, there is no good reason why the precious metal should be down, end quote. If Bitcoin did not exist, if we did not have a cryptocurrency market, gold would be about $10,000 right now just because of all the stuff that's been going on. Like gold would be the hold of the century right now. But alas, we know that companies and corporations and banks are selling off their gold and they're buying Bitcoin with it. Why are they doing that? Because while gold may be a store value, gold does not have any of the utility that Bitcoin has. You can use Bitcoin as a payment option. You cannot use gold as a payment option. Bitcoin is lightweight. It has no weight at all. Gold is very heavy. You can't transport it as easily as opposed, even if you had a laptop full of Bitcoin. Still a lot lighter than a crate full of gold. And Bitcoin's completely finite, mathematically finite, on a network that transacts trillions of dollars all the time and can be used instead of just being housed inside of a warehouse or under someone's bed or behind their ear. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, gold is going to continue dropping as time goes on, and I just really want everyone to understand that this channel is quickly becoming, someone called it like a dad channel, kind of like a life lesson kind of thing. I'm going to teach a boy howdy kind of thing, because I want everyone to really get it. And when you've gotten it, if you still make the other choice, no one to blame but yourself. So as it stands right now, yeah, of course, gold is down, especially of the people who've been lying on TV talking about some type of economic recovery and comeback. No, that's probably not going to happen for. Anyway, that's the gold not doing well because of Bitcoin news. And let's move on. Next up, Gerber Kawasaki, a top wealth management firm that handles $1.8 billion for 7,000 clients, is going crypto. Once again, Bitcoin should not be worth under $100,000. The California-based RIA, Registered Investment Advisor, will begin buying cryptocurrency on behalf of its clients through Gemini, managing their Gemini accounts like any other investment advisory account. They said, "If I don't offer this to my clients, in essence, I'm taking away an opportunity that could be incredibly lucrative." This was said by CEO Ross Gerber, known for his big holdings in Tesla and other stocks. He said, "Just like how I go out of my way to buy these annoyingly difficult stocks, to buy more that right now that trade in Canada, and I have to deal with all this crap just to buy a stock. But I know the opportunity of these companies, so I go through..." Who speaks like this? "So I go through the headache to do it, just like I'm going through the headache now to launch a program for crypto." So I assume within the next couple of weeks, we are going to hear exactly how much Bitcoin Gerber Kawasaki has actually, what an incredible name, by the way, has purchased. I assume it's going to be a lot. I assume it's not going to be just one Bitcoin. I assume it's going to be a substantial amount, probably a $150 million allocation, which at that point, when that news comes out, other people will get the news. And then these other people will start running towards the market and saying, "Hey, said rich person also bought more cryptocurrencies, and therefore I should buy more myself," as opposed to buying when the price was actually down. This entire video has been about Bitcoin and crypto adoption, about how much they're buying, how much they're going to be getting into it, the funds that they're creating, the things that they're doing. And I know that there's still people who don't understand, who don't want to understand. I notice that a lot of the confusion sometimes, I think, lies in the fact that when you hear a company say that they're getting into crypto, and then we get news 2 weeks later that they bought Bitcoin and usually a little sprinkle of Ethereum, I see some people in the comment section still telling me, "Well, I'm pretty sure they're going to buy Chainlink." You didn't mention them buying XRPs because they didn't. And they're not going to. They're not buying Bitcoin Cash. They're not buying Bitcoin SV. They're probably not buying any Litecoin or any other coin out there except for the two heavyweights in the market. And I keep seeing people calling me a Bitcoin maxi. And I don't know if these people can't read. I'm not saying that as a joke. This is why I say things out loud on the channel, because if you can't look at stuff on the screen, you can hear me say it. How many news stories? It has to be, every video has anywhere between like 7 to 12 tabs. Let's say 7, 10, 70, about a good 840 news stories that we've had over the last 2 or 3 months have just been, "I'm a big company, I'm rich, I'm wealthy, and I'm buying Bitcoin." Don't forget all the celebrities who've also been coming out saying, "Hey, I own Bitcoin and Ethereum and subsequently also Dogecoin, but those also count as well because they also have influence and allow other people to go, hey, let's start getting into Bitcoin. So it's not that I'm a Bitcoin maximalist and I just heard someone suck their teeth. It's that I'm a realist. I'm not going to bet on Lumens being the number one coin simply because you purchased Lumens years ago when I told you not to buy Lumens. Yes, yeah, I remember that happening. Me being like, no, Lumens is not going to pass by Bitcoin. Same thing with many other coins. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to get news. There's actually even more news than all of these. This is just what I fit into this video as to the accumulation of Bitcoin by mega companies. When we get to a $250,000 Bitcoin, just remember that you were a naysayer. I don't know how else to put that. I want everyone watching this and listening to this to succeed. I've mentioned that before. Don't think me cynical. Don't think me a jerk. Don't think me all these things. There's a reason why I don't do paid promotions on the channel, and there's a reason why I bring you the news as it is so that you can understand what's happening within the market. I am not here to hype you up. I'm not here to jazz you up. I'm not here to make you think that some other crappy coin out there is going to be the life-changing thing for you, as it appears as if, right now, based on the news that we've been getting, that Bitcoin looks like it could potentially be the winner. Anyway, that's the Gemini, what are they called? Gerber Kawasaki news. And let's move on. And I thought this one was funny, so I threw it in there and I said, why the fudge not? The meme cryptocurrency Dogecoin is gradually rising to the mainstream, which is weird, following recent tweets and promotions from celebrities, Tesla, SpaceX, Elon Musk. Dogecoin's growing popularity as companies are accepting it. There's a company called Wooter Apparel. That's the only reason why I threw this in here. Not affiliated, not paid affiliated, anything. I just thought it was funny that they're called Wooter Apparel, and they're now adding support for Dogecoin. And I think they already added support for Bitcoin in 2015 because they're probably a smart company. But now Wooter has Dogecoin. Wooter. I don't know why I thought that. Anyway, yeah. I saw it and I was like, I'll throw it in the video. Anyway, have you guys seen all the memes of all the Dogecoin stuff? Like the Dogecoin head like on a dancing dog and all these. The internet's an interesting, fascinating place. That's the word that I'll actually use for it. Alrighty, let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbite University, and Carlos was like, Mo Barazi, Jojo Shaw Show, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grollet, Lauren De Silva, Quoted, Biddy, Barebones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Nita Miracle, Crypto Stahl, Pattern Noster, Conan Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banano, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Stoyer, Nostromo, John Sarson, the Anima Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohamed Maroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, there we go. Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day. Yes to Crypto. Bodie McBoatface, Anytime... Bodie McBoatface. Anytime Fitness... It sounds ridiculous. Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Arfmedic 17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigera, Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. Thank you to all the new members of the channel. Thank you to everyone who left a like, a comment, 2 comments, subscribed, is still here, has helped the algorithm in any way that they possibly can. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently at $55,101. It is up by 0.02%. You see all these crazy, like it's nuts. I can only imagine what's actually happening between the actual trading robots and people sitting at their desk all around the world trading these coins right now. Like, it just has to be absolutely insane, everything that's been taking place. As of course, as Bitcoin fell, the wider market has also slumped a tiny bit. Binance coin is still holding on strong because it's Binance coin. Everything else is in the red, but it's like a light red, 2 to 4% kind of red. What was a really weird one that would just shot up? Theta is up by 20% because, you know, it's 2021, so why not at this point? Crypto is up by 7.9. Everything is down. Yep, everything is. Hedera hash graph is up by 28%. And Theta Fuel is up by 65%. That is apparently the pumpy coin of the day, because the other one that pumped yesterday is now gone out of the top 50. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all continue to are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be on this planet. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.